to do with my hair and stuff like that, isn't it? You know?
Your hair. Look how long it takes me to do mine. Can you imagine how long it takes me to do mine? Look.
That's kind of too short bet.
I charge Paul a finder's fee.
A shiner's fee? Did you say shiner? They showed me a shiner's
All
fee.
through the lockdown, we never had a problem. We just went snip, and that was it.
All one hair. I could just pluck it out with the tweezers.
Luke just takes his off and puts it on the side. Anyway.
Yeah. Luke, you got it on the right way round tonight.
Yeah,
you got the parting on the wrong side. You got it right way round.
Back to front.
We're not going to talk about them bits on Luke.
How funny.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
A bit and,
hello.
Good evening, mate. Welcome.
Anyway, better make the intro. Welcome to Paranormal Monday Live, where we talk about anything paranormal. Paranormal is anything not normal. Even what they call now UAPs, not UAVs or UFOs, they're called UAPs. And we've only got another 12 months to find out about these. Interesting. I mean, we're now, Daniel's a Bigfoot researcher from the West Country way. Interesting, we're watching Expedition X and we're watching Expedition Bigfoot, the new series. I don't know if anybody's watching it at the minute.
No.
Absolutely superb. They're on their fourth, fifth season now. And it's the same people doing the research, and they're in a completely different area this time. Snow-capped mountains, miles from anywhere. And I mean, it's absolutely superb. They have found evidence, proper evidence of Bigfoot. They found thermal images of it, and that's just the second episode. They've got one guy that's a survivalist, ex-military. He's in his 50s. He goes out with a cameraman. He just hikes with a backpack and carbonates on his back, sleeps rough. They've got a proper doctor of zoology. She looks older than, I think she's in her 50s, and another guy that are there together, and they set up a base camp, and they get all these thermal drones, and they've now got a drone that picks up gases from the smells. Apparently they flew it over Farnborough, and it picked up Lynn's house straight away. So they thought it was. It was a goer. If you know, if it,
There was a Bigfoot in Lynn's house.
Bigfoot in your house.
But they calibrate these drones. They've also got these ones that give a three-dimensional image of things. And the thing they found at the moment, as they got further to the mountain, all the locals say, yeah, they've been there. That's heavily populated by swashback. And loggers have moved out because they're 3 hours from nowhere, and they've all gone home. The rest of the screens have gone, no, we're not this. Things are getting moved about the log yard. They're well out of civilization. They found upside down turned trees stuffed into the ground upside down. These are not small trees. These are about 18 foot high. And it's absolutely amazing. All right, Daniel?
Evening, Daniel.
Hello,
guys.
Yeah,
Have you been following what I've been saying about Expedition Bigfoot?
I clocked off, and then
It's amazing. It is the best thing going. They found upside down trees. Have you seen that bit?
Yeah, I
and the
have.
roots
Yeah,
are like where the branches would be up here, and it's like
it's
you
amazing,
would never lift one of them. You would never, and you couldn't get machinery into that area to do it.
No,
It's impossible. You can hardly walk there. Do you know what I mean? So what has done it? It's got to be something huge. And again, they're going on about they've got the thermals of it. You're all right there, Luke? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Just quickly, look. Yeah.
Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting, Luke.
Oh, he's on the spot. Look at that. Look, anyway, he's off the spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's back on it. No.
All eyes are on you, Luke.
Well,
Yeah. Hi, Gemma. Good to see you join us, love. Good to see
Hi,
you.
Gemma. Good evening. Hope you're
Hello.
well. Hope you're well.
Yeah. Yeah. Gemma's got a new nickname, haven't you, Gemma? Would you like to let us know what your nickname is? I don't know if anybody's seen that.
Are you allowed to put it on here?
Jumpy Gem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jumpy Gemma.
Jumpy
Yeah.
Gemma.
Tell us a bit about Saturday night then.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, you must know Frimley High Street. Tiny little shop on Frimley High Street. We got that, yeah. There's Gemma, yeah. That's Gemma, yeah. Yeah, that's normal. I mean, everybody just turned up bit by bit, and we're quite worried because only a small tea shop. It's a proper function tea room. And we're a little concerned because we haven't been inside it or whatever. We're thinking, we'll have a kitchen and a room and whatever. Well, we got in there, we got the flat above it and everything. And that, no electricity, no water, anything, the flat above. I mean, that was real, yeah? You couldn't just switch the light switch on. Anyway, we've got front room, we've got second front room, we've got, you can buy cake while you're there and everything. Beautiful home cooked cake, a home baked cake. You've got the passageway and you've got the room out the back. Then you've got a door out the side, you've got the corridor out the back and outside. And then you can go inside the building, up the stairs, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms in the property upstairs. Where there's a lot of there's activity everywhere, but it's not heavily stocked. This is a brilliant thing. And Fiona that owns it, she said, "Oh, mate, stay for a couple of minutes and just see how you're getting on." So myself and Julia turned around and said, "Well, why don't you just stay for the night, and just see what we do and join in with us if you want." She went, "Oh, can I?" Yeah. And she went, "Oh, I might do, but I'll see how I get on." Anyway, she thinks she enjoyed ourselves as much as everybody else there. And we started off with a human pendulum, and it was quite a weird one because there was 2 women walked in, and I recognised them, and I recognised the third one that was with them. I walked up and I said, "Wait," I said, "don't you think you can come in here and ignore me, She went, "Do you know what?" She said, "We were talking about you the other day." She said, "Only the other day, because they went with Surrey Paranormal." She said, and we was going, "What's that guy's name? What's that guy's name?" And then she says, Rachel looked on the Paranation page, and she went, "Oh, I saw a picture of the investigation, and it said Darren underneath it." Went, "Oh, Christ, Darren!" And then you put a thing on, you're going to the event at the tea rooms. So she said, "Rachel booked it for all 3 of us, and here we are." I'm like, "Fantastic." She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I do them all." And oh, brilliant, yeah. Anyway, we started off with a human pendulum, and one of these women got chosen. And I will be doing the video. You can see it on the video. It was absolutely fantastic. But cat balls going off the lot. We had a load, yeah. Yeah. It was absolute. She was almost floating on the human pendulum. Instead of just going backwards and forwards, obviously when I asked the question, I could see what was there. Whether it was a yes or a no. And I said to her, I said, "Look, why don't you ask your questions? Because I can keep going and telling you here." So there's a few questions asked, but she was actually lifting up off the floor. Never seen anything like that. That was absolutely out of this world. I mean, you'll see on the video, she's like, "Gee." And I'm like, "Is she putting this on?" But she's never done the human pendulum before. And then as she's standing there without me asking a question or anybody asking a question, she is actually lifting up about that much off the floor. I mean, it's like I'm like, how's this lady doing this? And we must have had her for about 15 minutes. And we had a spirit which was confirmed by the owner of the shop to be there. So we got a hit straight away. And it was, in the end, I just, I took her away and said, thank you so much, because I could, I mean, it's pitch black. And I kept looking at her face, because obviously when I'm doing it, I've got that sort of duty of care to make sure that they're not going to get possessed and they're not going to get too emotional, empathic by the spirit. So I'm the one that's doing it, and I'm like, kept looking at her. She's not crying, but I've got a child crying. I have a child, definitely a child crying. And when we finished, I said to her, do you feel all right? She says, yeah. I said, do you feel emotional? She says, yeah, I do. I said, you know. And we turned the lights on and she had tears running down her face. And she said, but I'm not crying. I'm not crying, but there's tears running down her face. And the atmosphere just changed again. That was bloody good. And then we decided we'd split up. You stayed downstairs, Angela, didn't you, with that woman, Sandra and Rachel and whatever?
No idea what they mean.
Yeah, and what were you doing downstairs? You were doing the board and stuff?
Glass.
And you had quite a bit on that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Angela stayed down with the three women downstairs, and they stayed in the back seating area of the calf tea room. And myself, Julia, went upstairs and went into the front room. And we got some really, really good stuff. I've actually got, I'm pretty sure I've got to review it again, but I'm pretty sure I've got the glow in the dark ball move about that much on the table on its own. And so I've got to review that to 100% confirm that. But we spent about an hour upstairs, and in the end we all got together and we decided after the cat balls were going off and the K2, I said, can go red, and it went red and all that sort of thing. We decided we were going to go downstairs, have a coffee and just to chill out for a bit, which we did. And said, oh, can we buy some cake? And how much cake was there, Luke?
Loads of it. Loads of it.
I mean, there was just masses, wasn't there?
Different types.
All different types, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got it all. And the coffee cake, yeah. That was just honestly. Sorry, Dora, but I think you've been outbaked. And it was given the area, given the building, given the presentation of it all, it was very reasonably priced, and you didn't get a small slice. It was a proper stainless steel fork, a proper china plate, wasn't it, and whatever, and a nice big slice of cake. We sat down with coffee and whatever, and Julia decided she's got a new writing planchette. And she was getting loads of intelligent. She got one of the ladies that haunts there is named Olivia, isn't it, Angela?
Olive.
Oh, yeah. And we got Olive. Angela, you were there, weren't you?
No, I missed that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Were you there, Gemma, at the time? I know a few were. Olive got written in Julia's pad. You can see it. It's Olive. Yeah? So, you know, that planchette really, really did do well. And then I went upstairs with these two women, and we sat in the front room, and I said, do you know what, I'll go and get my board. And we went and got my board, and we put the Ouija board on in the front room on this big table, and we all sat down and whatever. And we were getting, I think you were there, Luke, weren't you?
No, I think I was downstairs with Julia, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, we've got an age of 8 years old, and it's a girl child and whatever. And I could sense her and whatever, and she's coming through, and then all of a sudden we heard, yeah, Olive, yeah. Not sure on that one. You might want to elaborate. But we got quite a bit going on the board. Then all of a sudden, we didn't realise, but Gemma and Neil were in the back room, and all of a sudden, Gemma just went berserk. And I mean, like, that's why she's now Gemma the jump, because like she went, oh no, get down here, and we're like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah, and she came running out of the room. It's like, I don't know exactly what happened in there, but later on we've got things in there ourselves. I've got personal things in there about 12:30, and you can see that on South Coast Ghost Channel. I've picked up the SD card yesterday. You saw the dark shadow as well in the corner, yeah? That's what it was. Yeah.
It formed over me and I didn't feel anything.
It formed over you?
Yeah.
So it formed over Angela. Anyway, always the way, innit? And it always the way. You just want to record it. You know, you've got your recorders there and everything. And anyway, from that moment on, the board just went dead. Whatever was on the board had been scared away by the sound of them in that room, yeah? Later on in the night, there was myself, Lynn, Luke, all in the back room. And I had my camera up on the top, just recording away, night vision. And I saw a shadow, and I felt somebody standing in the corner and whatever. And then Julie arrived, and her dowsing rods were on the side. I went, oh, I think these are yours. I've been mucking around with them. You know, we've gone up. And then Lynn's going, oh, you go on Saturday. Oh, I don't know how we're going to get there. Oh, I think Gemma's coming as well. I think we're getting the train together and whatever, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got more editing to do here, haven't I? It's like, so you're not going? Oh, I don't know. We'll have to get the train home then. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, and I do the voice quite well, really, didn't I? You know. I thought I wanted to fart and I was wrong. Anyway, see. What? Anyway, she's yeah, and as we've gone down or whatever, and we tried table tipping in the main back room, got results off of that and whatever, and then we shut up and we left about 1:20. When I got home, I was knackered. I woke up the next morning. I thought, just got the camera here. Look, got the camera, whacked it in. First video I've come to is me sitting in the back room on this chair. Lynn's over here and whatever, and just before Julia comes in, you can see this orb come behind me. Now, I'm not big on orbs, yeah, but you can't see. You just where it came from the edge of the frame. You can just see it here, and you can't see it go to this edge of the frame. So from its furthest point to the shortest point, it vanishes. It's only mid-frame. Then there's another one comes down from the picture and ends up in my head. As soon as that comes from the picture and starts in my head, I started itching all around. I had a warm tingling spot. And I couldn't get this itch out of me. And you can plainly see it on the video as events happen. Yeah. It's only like a 1.5 minute video I made quickly of it and whacked on South Coast Ghosts. But it was quite. I might be able to find it, and I'll just put a link on the. It was quite interesting because I obviously didn't even have the camera in my hands at the time, so I couldn't see what was going on in the camera. I wasn't taking pictures of anything specific, and obviously these orbs come out of nowhere, vanish into nowhere. And yeah, there it is. Get shareable link. And it just basically ended up that I was really, really scratching and itching. And I could really feel this orb, which was quite interesting for me because it sort of backed up what I felt when I was sat there, as if somebody else was shooting the video for us. Yeah. So if I put the link to the video there, yeah. So yeah, and yeah, Jem also got tap on her back. I think it happened a couple of times. She got tap on the back in the front room. I remember that because she came forward to she had a filing cabinet behind her, and she went, "Oh, somebody just touched me," and she came forward and she went, "No, it's too low down. It was a bit higher up." Yeah. Very, very interesting, and I would agree with you on that. I would definitely go back. Little birdie has it that we may be going back shortly, so keep your eyes posted.
Going back shortly, and with Halloween.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Not that quick. Not that quick. So, but that's the video link. It's in the chat. And that is the one. It'll take you to my channel, obviously, and it will. Well, see what you think of that. It will be in the chat on South Coast Ghosts, so you can copy and paste it into your browser. And it's only a short video, but boy, oh boy, I don't know if I can. No, I can't. I'd have to download it and present it onto the screen. But have a look at it and let me know what you think of it, because it's a really, to me, it's just like, yeah, I know I sense things and I know I see people and I know I can tell you what's there and what they're saying to us. It's not just ghosts, but it's animals, and you should be able to, if you click on it. Hang about, Jim. Well, what I'll do, you should be able to just double click on it because it's come up as a video. It's come up as Fiona's Tea Rooms on the page, so you should be able to just double click on it, and it will take you straight on it. But things like that really make you realize that you weren't so insane at the time. Yeah, you did really experience something. It just confirms. I mean, up until then, I've been laid back in this chair and I'm thinking, oh, well, it's nearly time to pack up. What if I haven't got much to pack up, thank God. And that's all I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Christ, something just going in my hair. And I'm like, and I've got this tingly electronic itch all over me. And in the video, you can clearly see this orb go straight into my head. Weird, isn't it?
If I just jump in very, very quickly, there,
Yeah.
What? First of all, what color was this orb, Darren?
Well, in night vision, it's hard to tell because it's mainly the work of the illuminator. Whether you're running sort of 750 or 850, you get a broad spectrum between white and green. Yeah, it's more white. My illuminator that's set on this night. Yeah,
and
so people did see them that night with their naked eyes before that point. I must add, I didn't see these orbs with my naked eye, maybe because they were behind me.
What do you reckon this thing was?
I seriously think it's spirits of something that's in that building. Somebody that's worked or lived there or liked the place, is attached to the place. Because one thing that's interesting is it's possibly the oldest building in the street, all the others around it have been demolished and rebuilt. It's just been built into the street. I would highly recommend, if it's booked again, going back to it, because it's just completely different before it gets too well trod. You know what I mean? I mean, have you seen any orbs down there? I mean, when you're out in the forest, or
I haven't actually yet, but I've done a little bit more investigating into what they kind of mean, and actually, it seems to be that orbs can kind of send messages, and obviously I've done orbs research into what similarity they have with Bigfoot, but they seem to have some message. But what I tend to find now is with a lot of cryptid sightings, there's orbs appearing, and it seems to be something more common that I'm finding, and I don't know what to make of it.
They do, I agree with you, seem to be becoming much more. I mean, 40 years ago, orbs weren't a thing. 25 years ago, orbs weren't a thing. And then all of a sudden, somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago, you'd get a spinning ball of light or something shoot across the screen. And it's like, what was that? And you slow it down. Most photography is still done in 24 frames per second. So it's nothing to do with the speed of the film. Most cinematic photography, because I don't know if you take your camera out now and you do a video, it looks too real for a film. It's jittery. It's not actually jittery, it's just very finely taken. Whereas when you're only in 24 frames a second, everything starts to flow, and it's more cinematic. So it's not the speed of the film. Perhaps it could be something to do with the quality of the optics and the way, I suppose, digital photography did come around about that era. We have got some old photographs which have orbs in them. However, we can't 100% say that it wasn't the poor quality of the film that didn't have a deficiency, a defect in it somewhere. So unfortunately, these old films, I mean, if you look in a lot of the films of yesterday, you'll see that they took pictures of their deceased. Have you seen that? No?
Heard of it. Haven't really looked into it though.
Well, an interesting thing is you probably have seen it. You just didn't realise it, and that's really morbid. And it really sends a shiver down the spine. I think everybody's seen a picture of Victorian deceased people. And
I've Facebook a lot.
Yeah, but they dressed them up and made them look alive. So they, that was their last picture of them. But also, the main reason that they did it when they were dead is because photography was too expensive when they were alive. They couldn't afford a photograph, a family portrait, when they were alive because it was too damn expensive. So really we're at that point. I mean, I'm not big into orbs, but I'm starting to come round. And as you say, there's
some of them orbs, what you've got to do is slow it down and then blow it up, because sometimes there's a face in it of a loved one inside the orb. It's what you've got to remember. I know we poo-poo it as a light anonymity and all of that sort of stuff, and we do see more and more orbs because the equipment's becoming more and more technical, isn't it? Your IR lights, your full spectrum cameras, your phone cameras are becoming that much better than any camera you can get. You're like a roaming reporter, aren't you, really, with your phone, because you can record sound, videos, anything you want to while you're on the move. But a lot of times when you look at orbs that are hanging around, if you can freeze frame it and blow it up, you will see a loved one's face in it.
Well, when you
And I've
when you
seen
have a look
that.
at that, when you have a look at that, Paul, I mean, if you want a still or sent across, I'll get a couple of stills from the video, and
Yeah.
I'll send them onto the chats and blow them
Yeah.
up and see what you think, mate.
Because I have
It's
a
also
program
quite
on my laptop called Photo Forensics. I don't know whether anybody else uses it. It's called Photo Forensics.
Windows or Mac?
It's a Windows run program. But what it does, if you get pixelated pictures, you can actually put the pixels back into the picture. So it starts to build. Yeah, obviously there's limitations to it, but I've always had really good results with that. Especially stop, freeze frame, zoom, and obviously it will zoom it till it starts to go blurry, and then it backs it up a little bit. And I've looked at a few orbs and seen faces in them. Generally they're loved ones. Pardon?
And that's why I can't debunk orbs, mate. And that's why my interest has been gathered in orbs over the last 3 years. I mean, there's some old paranormal researchers out there that just put orbs down into.
Are you going, Daniel?
I am now, yeah.
Okay, mate.
Oh, right, mate. Thanks for joining us again, mate.
Yeah, take care, mate. Have a good week. Have a good week.
Quickly, have you had anything back from the DNA or anything like that?
Well, all I know now is that they are writing up the final report as we speak, and should be literally any day now. So it's literally down to the last minute. And I've got people now analysing everything under the sun. So I hopefully we get some answers.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not long until we come up with you anyway.
It's not, no. Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward. I mean, we're all looking forward to it. I mean, even the kids are getting psyched up. You know what I mean? But what I'll do is I'll bring a few meters up as well.
Oh, amazing.
And I'll bring the infrared up and things like that, and I'll see.
Oh, amazing, mate. Yeah.
And if there's anything spiritual there, I mean, I don't think Paul's coming up that day, are you, Paul?
I should be. I don't know. Subject to my health, because I'm not doing very well again at the moment.
That's the most important thing.
Pardon?
See what your health's like.
Yeah, I'm not been that well again at the moment, so I'm back to the doctors tomorrow.
And Paul, just let me know about the event as well, bud.
Of course I will, mate. Of course I will. No worries.
Amazing.
But I've got all my fingers, got everything crossed that I'll be there Saturday. But my health is taking a bit of a back turn again at the moment, so I'm not sure what's going on. Of course I will. Of course I will.
All right. Amazing.
Mate,
you take care and have a good week, mate.
And as soon as I know about the eDNA, I will definitely let you know.
Sure.
As soon as I know.
Yeah.
If you can, but you have a great week.
Thanks. Amazing.
Yeah,
See you later.
Let you talk first, and then you can do your bit and get off, mate. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate. Take care.
Bye.
Unfortunately, Gemma, yes. Paul is not very well at the moment. I keep nagging him not to do too much, don't I, Paul?
You do, yeah.
I'm a bit like his dad. I know, but I've been through something similar with my real dad, and you can't be too careful. You just cannot be too careful.
No.
The main thing is,
for me, the journey up to Daniel on the Saturday is nearly 3 and a bit hours.
Yeah.
It's in Bridgewater, isn't it? Right the other side of Somerset. So I'm going to try, but if I'm not well or I'm just not perked up, then I can't make that journey.
It's not worth pushing yourself, mate. Because
no, I really want to go, and I really want to stand side by side with you, Darren. Together.
But it's 100% Paul. It's 100% understood, mate. you'd know the same from me. Yeah. I mean, well, he has, and
I'm going tomorrow, 20 to 4 tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll keep you updated anyway.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I mean, it was
just another
lovely.
setback.
I mean, did you see the puppy chat earlier, everybody? Where Cheryl put that post on?
Yeah.
That, you know, when I first started off on Power Unity and things like that, and tried it with Joe and stuff like that, just didn't slog at it long enough. But the thought of everybody being like we are now is just like the dream was, and people still today, there's still people out there that are saying, oh, the puppy thing will never work. The puppy thing, oh no, you're flogging a dead horse, you're never going to get anywhere. And the main one is, it's never going to earn you money. Guys,
it's not about the money, is it?
Set up to earning money. It wasn't set up to earn anybody that came into it money. It was meant to give us some absolutely superior wealth to every other group out there. And the wealth and the richness comes through what we're doing now. We're all mates. And when she put that on there earlier, when Cheryl put that on there, the support I get from this group is fantastic. It just warmed my heart. It sort of said, well, these people that say Power Unity is not getting there, and you're not going to do it because other groups don't want to be part of Power Unity, they're wrong. They're completely
But it's quite touching. Her message was quite touching. But as a combined unit, you know, the amount of health and everything we're sending her, healing we're sending her through the spiritual world, you know, I see her through it because we are strong as we are. You know, we do go forward together. We go back together. We go forward together. And I think as a paranormal Power Unity group, you know, there is no other stronger than us. For what we do, not only do we help one another, we help as a team. And that's what you've got to remember, isn't it? But, you know, we're all there for each other.
That's what
we're all sending out that healing for Cheryl, you know, and we know she'll be back with us, you know, when she's ready. You know, she'll be missed and massively at coming up with all the events and with Julia and all of that, you know, but
like and things like
I wish she'd go with her.
She would, and her brother as well. You know,
but the whole family, isn't it? It's not just her; it's the whole family going through it with her. You know, and our thoughts and our hearts and our love and light are all with Cheryl and the family.
Absolutely,
she'll be perfect. She'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, the fact that she's always in our thoughts is us sending out that healing to her. Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
And
she's never far from everybody's thoughts. So as a para unified team, that's immense amounts of healing. And if she's watching here tonight, you get well soon, Cheryl, and we'll see you when you come back.
Yeah. Hurry up. Don't take too long. If you are missed, everybody's missing you. All right, Graham, good to see you, mate. I know he's just watched EastEnders. Yeah.
More pub. More pub.
Graham, we've just if you go back on the recordings later on, mate, just been talking about one that would have been right up your street at the weekend in Frimley. Gemma says, hi, Graham. EVP City, mate, I would imagine. I haven't listened to my EVPs yet, but I will be. I've also bought a pair of have you listened to any EVPs yet of yours? No?
No, I recorded the same as you, I think. No need to listen to it back,
But the thing is, you say the same as Darren. I bet it's not.
No, I bet it's completely
because
different.
you can pick up
Yeah.
something different. Innit?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It won't be the same as Darren's, I'm telling you. You can have
Perfect.
two recorders, and Graham will tell you this. You can have two recorders running side by side, and then recorders will, and Graham will back me up, then recorders will pick up different things, because you might get a noise on here and not on Darren's. So the recordings are never going to be the same. Yeah.
Talking about recorders, you sent me through the HN4 Pro.
That's it,
Absolutely superb recorder, mate, yeah? But very much set in a studio setting, yeah?
Right.
For plugging 4 different instruments in and mics and whatever, yeah? Mate, if you can afford the 160, 170 pounds, plus the fact it's a bit more bulky, yeah? This one I've got now is the H1N Pro, yeah?
Yeah.
And I first used it on Saturday night. I'm yet to listen back on it, but it was so easy to use. It was slide on, it lit up, said accessing SD card. And then I will come to that in a second. I will come to basic one, as Gemma says she's after a recorder. I will come to that and I will tell you exactly what you need to get in a second. And we'll all collaborate, and I think we'll all come to the same conclusion here. Basically, you've got the twin mics, the same as on the H4N Pro, multi-directional, different frequencies. But a CD quality is 24 hertz, okay? You can choose to, that's all the peak sounds and the low sounds and things like that, yeah? You can choose to record in 24, but I'm recording in 96 hertz.
Right.
Can you imagine that?
So really low down,
range,
very low. Yeah.
Well, I'm high, I'm low, I'm everywhere, yeah? So any frequency in that, well, the H4N's only 96 hertz, yeah?
Yeah.
The only real gains on the H4N are you've got 4 inputs, yeah, to plug in a guitar, a mic, drums, whatever, yeah, and the processor is a bit quieter, yeah. So if you listen back to your VVPs, which I don't think you would agree you'd ever have, and hear like, ooh, yeah, because a human ear doesn't hear that anyway. It's only when it's going through machines. You with me? So, you know, I would recommend, if you're probably not, if you can afford it as a starter, because it also, on recording in WAV, 96 hertz. Yeah. It records 2 seconds before you hit the record button. So if you hear something like now and you press the record button, it will start recording and catch it. How cool is that? Do you know what I mean?
Good. I use the one I have is the Philips voice tracer, and I have the Panasonic VP10s.
Yeah.
So the directional mic on the voice tracer is brilliant. They're the ones I seem to pick up more. The VP10s are really, really good. The Panasonic VP10s, they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, Graham. Good way to put it, mate. And he is EVP King. I don't know what Graham uses for his EVPs, but basically, Gemma, if you're looking for a basic one, don't buy one from another ghost group, because they just put 10 or 20 quid on it, yeah?
Google it. Just Google it.
24 hertz is CD quality. 24HZ is CD quality. So if you're never going to really surpass CD quality. MP3 depends how it's recorded and what situation, but that's basically the benchmark. And secondly, you want it WAV format recorded. If it records in WAV format recording, it's okay, yeah. So you'll get something for 15, 20 quid WAV, and it's not, you're not taking huge amounts of data. So if you've got 8 gigabyte storage and you clean it out every 3rd or 4th paranormal investigation, Olympus I love Olympus ones. I've got to agree with Graham on this. Olympus seem to be, don't they, Luke? There's a little sweet spot there with.
That's what I've got. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got 3 Olympus EVP recorders. I've got 1 Pro Digital, which I've never used. I think they're about 120 quid new. Never used it. And the reason being, you charge it up, you can't change the bloody batteries. Yeah. Every time I go to use it, it needs charging. So I put it on charge, do my investigation, come home, put it back in the drawer. So if you can get one with external batteries, I would get one with it. You can change the batteries. Yeah. They only, always put alkalines in it. eBay, I would say. Have a look on eBay. What I do is I look for used on auctions, and I look down the ones that are for sale, and I copy and paste it into the Google bar, and I put specs, SPECS after it, and it brings me up all the specs. And if it's in WAV 24 hertz or higher, I take it. I put it in my watch list. I set myself a price. If you set yourself 20 quid, don't pay 27 for it. Put in a bid of £20 and 78p. Yeah. So if somebody else will put 20 quid in, your 78p will win you the item. Yeah? That's the rule on eBay bidding. But I've never used
the other thing. Sorry, go on, Darren. Sorry.
The other 2 are the slimline ones, and it's got the removable mic on the top, so you can plug in a lavalier mic as well. And the reason I want to keep at least one of these is I'm going to plug a lavalier mic in to the recorder. So when I'm walking around a building, I can actually speak as well. If you
my VP10s do that one. They have an output for a mic on the top. The Panasonic VP10.
That's a good recorder. Good recorder. If you can get one with a headphone output, 3.5mm headphone output. Now the very important thing is with headphones, they are hell of a different qualities. Years ago, when we used to have the portable CD player, like the Walkmans, Panasonic did different models. I tested a few of my mates' ones, and I had the expensive one. Mum and Dad bought me the expensive one. It was about 90 quid for a tape player, and it sounded really, really, really good. I listened to my mates' Panasonics, and they weren't as good. I swapped over the headphones, and they sounded just as good as mine. They were identical, really, tape pickups, everything, processors. All Panasonic did was put slightly better pair of headphones on their higher models. Headphones are very important. Do not get in earphones, because they're bloody rubbish. They fall out and whatever, you don't realise it, and you need to block out the sound from outside. And if you're going to do an EVP properly, you really need to be walking around with that EVP player, recorder, with your headphones on, listening. Because if you're listening in WAV format, that format will be processed and streamed to your ears. You with me?
I use my headphones. I use are Bose ones. Bose BOSE Bose.
Yeah, I got a notepad. Oh, she's got a notepad. All right, okay. What you want is at minimum 24 hertz, HZ, and you want WAV format. WAV format. Ideally with headphone output. You don't have to get a headphone straight away. You can upgrade to headphones later on. When you upgrade to headphones, get a decent set. Simple as. 8 GB storage is ample. Most of them got 8, 16, 32 gigs. I've got 32 gig card in the H1N. I did a lot of recording the other night. It's not even used half a gig, 500 meg, because you're only recording voice. That's all you're recording. So WAV, 24 hertz, earphone out socket, done. Olympus, a nice little sweet spot. They're not too expensive. No problems. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. I mean, camera-wise, I mean, up until Arundel Jailhouse, Paul would take his camera with him everywhere, yeah, and it was like, oh, IRs and stuff like that. Oh, I've looked into some expensive, whatever. I said, don't bother going to get really expensive IRs. And I said, why don't you just use an action camera? Well, yeah, but I've seen some that are, well, do it yourself, didn't I? And now, what do you take places with you?
Yeah. The other one I've been looking at is an action camera, right?
Yeah.
That's got 360-degree lens.
That's the latest new one.
Yeah,
That
have you
is
seen
really,
it?
really good. Yes. Jeremy Vine's got one. Right.
All right.
That because when he made the van crash into him, have you seen that video? What a wazzock. Sorry, Gemma. I would say, what would you say? 15 to 20 quid?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go for an Olympus or whatever, don't. Have a look on Facebook Marketplace as well. See what's around you. If somebody's got one up for 25 quid or from 20 quid.
Yeah.
Google the specs. Yeah. And as long as it's got your specs, have it off them. Yeah. That's what I do. It on eBay. Don't just buy the first one going. If it goes over your price mark, go. Yeah.
It's like my VP10. When you set the VP10 up, you have anti-rustle, you know, WAV, MP3, you know, for all the formats on the VP10. And I just put it into WAV, put the anti-rustle on, so you don't pick up the noise as you're moving the recorder around, because sometimes you can get noise, can't you, as you're moving it backwards and forwards.
Oh, of course you
but
can.
it takes a while to set up, but once you get them in the sweet spot, they're on it. Yeah.
As far as M360 Insta cameras, I think they're absolutely fantastic if you are doing sports or cycling or so forth. However, are they, the distortion is 360 degrees. That's how they work. They work off of distortion. Yeah. So when you go into a room, the distortion's going to kill you. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Have a look at a few YouTube videos, not promoting. Because what these companies are doing an awful lot of at the moment is if you promote their company, do a couple of videos, they'll give you a discount. Yeah. So people are just doing videos and getting a discount and getting one for free, and they're not telling you because they're not obliged to. Yeah. So how much are they anyway?
I saw them for about 45, 50 quid.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
About the size of our action cameras, our SJs, that lenses front and rear, you know. And the other thing I have seen on there is like a laser you put in the middle of the room and it spins the room. Yeah. And you have it on your tablet and it makes a 360-degree 3D, three-dimensional picture of the room. And it builds up. And ones I've seen, I've just looked sort of YouTubes and read about them and all of that. So they can actually, they're a bit like an SLS camera, where they send out, you know, the millions of matrix dots on the wall, but the laser spins and builds up a three-dimensional picture. And sometimes you can catch spirit with it.
We've got to crack something like that.
Because you can catch spirit with it, see? Yeah. I've got one of them. My beloved body cam. You've seen it, Darren. I showed you.
How did that perform? Was it too wide an angle lens that night?
No, it's brilliant. No, it's very, very clear. Yeah, it's the angle. I'm not sure it's about 180 degrees or 160 degrees. But like Graham's saying now, I use mine at Waverley. When I run back, I'll show it to you when I see you next. When I run back over on the laptop, it's as clear as day. The image is perfect. So good.
Well,
Such a good image.
I think if the weather, I mean, this weather was supposed to have changed 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It held out. I think next thing I've got is your house. Halloween. So I think before that, if it's a nice Saturday or whatever, last minute, I might just nip up to wait. I'll put it on the page, obviously. You know.
Yeah.
So because it's, do you know, down here today, I went to the doctor 2:10, and I got a few things going on and whatever. My weight's up and down, up and down, up and down for no reason. And I'm getting the shakes, and I haven't been well for a while now, but that's me, and I don't give a shit about myself. Anyway, as long as I give a bit of happiness back to the world, that's my main thing. And
That's it. That's all we can do, mate.
One thing you should do, Dora, one weekend is Angela does these mind, body, spirit fairs and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I see on Facebook.
Yeah. Nip over one Sunday when she does one. The guy, if you want to do something yourself or alongside or whatever, he'll give you a stall next to or to each other or whatever. He's a really nice guy. He's wide awake to everything that's going on over the last 5 years. And he's also a medium. So Kevin, his name is, talking to you. What a lovely bloke, really lovely bloke. He wants me to go and do stage shows for him, but I don't feel right at the minute. So get myself sorted out, yeah? But just message her when she's doing the next one. I don't know if she's on the next. I would like to nip up to Waverley, because we do only live once. And it seems a bit of a waste of life, doesn't it? You know? That, Graham, I think is the best statement on the questions we've had tonight and what I've tried to convey. Spirits do not give a monkeys, right? REM pods these days are extortionate cost of money. I love a good REM pod, and I must admit it, because you've got the 360 cents, yeah? But if you tear the REM pod down, cost you £9 to make it max. £9 to make that REM pod max. The spirits don't know if you paid £150 for it or not, yeah? It's like, do you remember when the Ghost Box first came out years ago, and they were charging like £1,000 for them? Don't see them anymore, do you?
No, died of death, haven't they?
Don't see them anymore, you know, because they're all really cheap, expensive, either broke or people realise they're bloody useless. Simple as.
Yeah.
When you go to an 8th century monastery and you've got something going boom, 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 blah, 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 you really think that those unable to spell, uneducated, dark age people are not going to be put off a little bit by all them flashy lights? Seriously? Because if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, these spirits run a bloody mile when them things happen. Yeah, and sorry, Gemma, but we proved that the other night, because when Gemma, the jump screamed, yeah, or Jumpy Gemma screamed, the board went dead. The ghost got scared of. Yeah.
But then that brings you to the question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That brings you to that question, doesn't it? Do they act? Can they see us?
They must be able to, mate.
I think so, yeah. I think they can.
Well,
Sure.
can they, or do they just hear our voice like we hear them?
Oh, yeah, I think. Yeah. You never know, yeah.
So, you know, do they actually see us, or do we communicate, or do we communicate through the sound?
Yeah.
That's what you've got to ask, haven't you? You've got to say to yourself, if you're communicating, if you're communicating with something potentially in the other realm, you know, is it that we hear they're doing the same as us, but in their realm? Think about that.
I've thought of this before. and they ghost hunting as well.
Well, are they? Or are they hearing voices that they're trying to communicate with?
Echoes from the past could be.
I mean, I was talking to Julia the other night about Inverurie Jail. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but same as the Edinburgh Vaults and things like that. If you've not done it, I would highly recommend doing it. It is absolutely superb, but the Scottish energy is completely different to what the English energy is. It's a lot more blatant in your face and so forth. And a few years ago, I was at Edsall Castle, and there was a couple of us sat on one of the gantries, one of the walls up the top, and I had an app on. I'm up for it. I'm up for it, Gemma. Always. I do keep promising to people to take us to York and whatever, so maybe next year, I don't know. But I'm always up for it. I mean, I'm happy to drive or hire a minibus or whatever, and we'll sort it out from there. But I opened up this app on my phone, and I'm not a great lover of apps. Right, Sam, we'll talk about this on another live then. But we had these voices come through and said, basically, who are you? And I said, well, I'm Darren, and this is so-and-so, and well, we all said hello, and oh, hiya, this is like Chris, and there was 5 people, I'll never forget that. I went, where are you? We're at the castle. Like, okay, what castle are you at? And it was really a clear session. They said, Edsall. And I'm like, Jesus, are you sat on the wall? Yes. Are you by a set of steps and wooden steps and whatever? No, they're stone. Now, these wooden steps have been put in because the stone had collapsed. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. Can you see us? And he said, no, we can't see you. Can you see us? And I'm like, I looked around at the others, I went, this is real. Are they doing an investigation? And we're investigating them, they're investigating us. And it lasted for about 5 minutes, the conversation, then it just went. So is it a frequency?
But then sorry, Darren, go on.
Is it a frequency that's just sort of like missed and then all of a sudden it hits each other and we have that 5 minutes and then it went again or what? Yeah. But it seemed that they were investigating us and we were investigating them. And the two came together.
This is what I'm saying to you, you know, and the question we don't ask is, can you see what we're wearing? Why don't we ever ask that question?
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we haven't all had the same life as you, Paul.
Well, you know, I'll try and keep my drag stuff to one side. Don't worry about it. It's fine, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know how these women walk in high heels, but never mind. That's changing the subject, isn't it? Let's get back. Yeah. But like I say, do we ever ask the question, can you see what we're wearing? Do you know what colour my T-shirt is?
Yeah. That's a bloody good point you've got there.
Because we assume that when we're communicating with them and we're getting the, you know, Ouija boards moving, you know, you're getting voice contact, whatever, we always say, can you hear us? Do you know how many's in the room? You know, when you say, do you know how many of us? And it comes back 5, 10 feet, whatever is it? You know, is it that they can see us, or they just assume that there's 15 of you, there's 5 of you, or they feel the energy of 10 people? You know, how do they work out how many people are in that room?
It goes on forever, doesn't it? It goes on forever, you know.
It sort of defies logic, really, doesn't it?
I'm not going to sleep tonight, thanks, Paul.
That's all right, you're welcome.
About this all night. You know?
Thinking about me and my drag stuff, you mean?
Well, it definitely ain't Luke.
Well, no.
Because I would imagine he looks like his mum. Anyway.
And I think, I think maybe you got to ask the question, can you see us? And if you get that answer no, then like you're saying, Darren, it's on a frequency. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. I know I've mentioned the Exor's experience before, but it was different. It was on a different level. The Scottish energy is different. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's because it's more blunt and it's more. The Scots were more in your face and you're English as well. I don't know why, but I mean. Oh, bloody hell, it was years ago. I did Ouija. Years. And wow. I mean, things get picked up and thrown, and you watch it being picked up. Do you know what I mean? You see chairs moving. You see doors slamming in front of you. You see big, heavy wooden prison doors moving on their own. And you've been standing there for 10 minutes, and they're too heavy for the wind. I mean, you've actually got to get your arm in, and these big old hinges and whatever are rusted up. And they just start moving all of their own accord. And it's like, you've been there 10 minutes, and all of a sudden you see it moving. It's that Exor one, still to this day, gets me. How many of you are there? There's 5. Okay. We're cut such and such. Who are you? And they introduce themselves. And then, can you see us? No. And then it goes.
So thanks the question. When, sorry, go on, Dan.
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before, that the Queen Elizabeth II received an iceberg alert meant for the Queen Elizabeth 40 years before, and they got this alert, and they went, "Is this for real? We've just got an iceberg alert, and it's midsummer. There isn't an iceberg for like 500 miles." And the captain said, "Well, just send back, are you for real? Is there anybody there of any stats?" And they sent it back, and they went, "What are you on about?" I said, "Well, you just sent us a bloody iceberg warning." Anyway, obviously it got recorded and reported and so forth. And it took them about 6 months to figure out that this iceberg warning was meant for the Queen Elizabeth, but it never actually reached the Queen Elizabeth. It never got there. But it did hit the Queen Elizabeth II. 46 years later, it was something like that. Yeah. Now, that's quite unique. That where did that signal go? Where did it come back from? And the ship has Queen Elizabeth II. So, do you know what I mean? It just goes to show you that this energy thing is a lot bigger than what we can understand.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when you do a Ouija board, you say, how many of us are here? And it goes 5 or 6. Is that a guess? Or is that because they feel 5 or 6 people's energy around the board? Are they doing what we're doing from that side?
Or do they actually see us? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like I say, the next one you go on, ask the question.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see us?
I mean, obviously. Well, wait, we have it. Yeah, that's what that's there. Yeah. But I mean, we were talking about Fiona's tea room, Julia, just before you came on.
So I had cat issues.
You had what?
Cat issues. Sorry, she's cat.
Oh, right.
Cat. She's just been a little bit demanding, but yeah, she's all right. She's all right. Yes, I know. Yes.
Well, she wants to come on live. Of course she does.
I don't think she does.
We did get a terrible lot, didn't we? I mean, we got hell of a lot on Saturday, really, when you look back at it. And I don't know if you've watched that video yet of the back room. When you came in and I went there, your dowsing rods.
I did watch it. I watched it yesterday, and there was a couple of really, was it like 2 or 3 really decent, not, I wouldn't say they're dust orbs, I think they were more ghostly orbs by the way they were moving, by the shape of them. That's what I think they were. But yeah, I think I just sort of like came in on the back of that because we were just sort of like having a bit of a mooch around. But yeah, completely surprised at how much I've never even been in the tea room before. And we turned up, it looked like a quaint little cottage. And we thought, oh, I think we'll probably just have like downstairs. We went in, there's a nice big room on one side, then there's all these like cakes and everything. And then at the back, there's another fairly large room. And then she said, oh, let me show you upstairs. And we had the upstairs area as well, which was 3 decent sized rooms. And there's the kitchen downstairs, the hallway. It was like a little TARDIS. It was so much bigger than I could have imagined. I thought, oh gosh, that's why we didn't take a big group, because we thought, oh well, we're going to just sort of like have, we don't know how big it is. It's our first visit here. We only take a few of us. I think we had about 15. And it worked really well. I think we probably could have had a couple more, but 15 was, I think,
nice
just
number,
right.
wasn't it? It really was a nice number. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, really
sure
good.
I've got a video with that ball moving as well. I've got to review it again. But this morning I was looking at the video, and I'm sure when you walked away, I saw the ball move a slight bit. Going back and forwards, I couldn't find the bit again because obviously I'm watching on VLC, and I go to the editor, and it's like, where was the timing? Oh God, I wish I'd have got the minutes. But I'm sure that ball did move because we had so much going on, didn't we? With the
I
EMS,
took a photo of the ball before when I did the circle around it. So I took a picture of it, and then someone said, "Oh, I think it's moved," and then took another picture again, and it looked like it had moved.
Yeah, about
half a centimeter. It was, yeah. But what we were doing in the front of the tea room was we had I've got a new writing planchette, and we had that on a piece of paper, and there's 2 other ladies from Basingstoke. I think they've been before. I know them. I think they went to Shaw House or something like that. And what we were doing is with the writing planchette, we were drawing, like we drew a flower, and then because we had this little boy called Bertie Gambit, he was 6, and we would like drawing a flower, then we're putting the planchette next to it and saying to Bertie, can you draw the flower? And he would draw the flower. Then Amy drew a castle, and we said, Bertie, can you copy the castle? And he sort of did it upside down. Various other shapes, a ball, a square, a heart. We even drew like a little stick man and said, Bertie, can you draw the little stick man?
Yeah, you did that as well.
It was, I couldn't wish for any better communication from a 6-year-old. It was, and even the drawings looked like a 6-year-old. And when you said, how old are you? Can you write the number of how old you are? He did a 6, but he did it backwards, like back to front 6. And
yeah. I saw that.
And I think before him, we had Olive. Well, Fiona said that in the corner there was a lady called Olive, old lady called Olive. So we're like, okay, and first of all, Olive came through, and we said, what's your name? And she like really sort of like scribbled round and round in circles, OLIVE, and we had her to begin with, and we said, how old are you? And she did like 76, but I think Fiona said, oh, we think she's about 78. So we're like, oh, okay, well, she said she's 76, but in the spirit world, who knows how old anybody is. But yeah, really, I think that's what really sort of like really did sort of like make me come away and think that was amazing. Talking to little Bertie was just, that was the icing on the cake, pardon the pun. And we did have some cake, didn't we? We did have some amazing cake that Fiona had made. I had coffee and walnut, and it was a really decent sized slice. What did you have, Darren? Did you have coffee and walnut as well?
Yeah, exactly the same. It just looked too good. I mean, there's probably about 20 different choices of cake, and donuts, and everything. And you're looking at it all, and like Julia and Gemma have got a bit of coffee and walnut, and I'm like, that looks really nice. Sod it, I'll have coffee and walnut. And it was
And
just
Luke had some. You
beautiful,
had some,
wasn't it?
Lucas, didn't you?
No, my mum did.
Oh, your mum had some. Did she have
Yeah.
coffee and walnut?
Chocolate sponge, I think it was.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's all homemade, really good, decent sized portions. And I think if anyone's passing Fiona's Tea Rooms in Frimley High Street, pop in, you know, and have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, slice of cake, because the portions are amazing. And, you know, it's a really lovely, quaint, cozy atmosphere, really homely. And, you know, I loved it.
Yeah, just mention to her at the weekend, did you have that really good looking investigator, Darren, in? Because, I mean, that sensitive investigator, I meant. But I would highly recommend going in there, like Judith says, because it just, when we walked through the door, over the threshold, it had a feeling, didn't it, of welcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, there didn't feel anything nasty there.
No. And you can take your dog as well. If you've got a dog, you can take your dog in there as well. You know, they welcome dogs, and, you know, it's just, and there's like lots of things to buy as well. So if you're looking for like a little gift, or, you know, a little gift for somebody, or a birthday card or something, it's all in there.
God, yeah. They've got all
it's
the
all in there.
In there, haven't they?
So
and
it's
like it's a little sort of like, what do you call it? A little sort of like cave in there, isn't it? Of like
treasure trove, isn't it? Of goodies and cake, and it was just really, really good.
Yeah.
The only thing I found disappointing, and that was because I've recently bought a motion sensor music box, and wherever I put it, it didn't go off. So that was the only disappointing thing for me. But, you know, the areas that we had, and upstairs was really I found upstairs quite spooky, quite creepy up there. Yeah, it was just
the
really...
best thing was there's no electricity, so even if you did get scared, you couldn't just turn the light on and make it stop. You knew you had to sit it out, didn't you? And
also, I was looking through some of my videos last night. I've still got some to look through, and I think there was quite a few of us upstairs, and Neil was going, "Oh, can you copy me? Can you like copy me? Do a thump?" And then there was like a thump, and we had quite a lot of thumps upstairs, you know, and that was quite interesting. There was somebody walking upstairs as well, wasn't there, when we were downstairs? I forgot about that. I don't know if I heard that.
Upstairs.
Oh, we did hear some. Yeah, there were some footsteps. Also, when we're in the back room downstairs,
walking and laughing.
We kept on hearing like people talking, and we were like talking away, and we like, I looked at, you know, I thought, I said, did anyone hear that? And it's like, just sound like, you know, like 3 or 4 kids just sort of like talking, and we're like, well, not this time of night. But I really want to go back, even if it's just for a slice of cake.
Yeah. It's
very
a shame
welcoming.
Halloween. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame Halloween's not on a weekend this year, isn't it? Really, it's it is a big shame. But I mean, she said that I sent her a video, and she said, "Thank you so much." She said, "You're more than welcome. It was nice to be sort of welcome. You're welcome anytime. You will be welcome anytime you wish to come."
Yes.
And I thought that was really nice, because from now on, if I am passing the place, I will call in and have a cup of coffee, and I promise you that. I'm going to chat. I'm often passing there because it's a little rat run, isn't it, between the M3 if you go to Heathrow or whatever that way from me, coming up the A3 up through Borden and so forth onto the M3, or Sandhurst or Camberley or even into Drayton or somewhere like that. So I will be calling in there again.
I think if you don't know it's there, you probably just go up the high street and completely miss it. But it's a beautiful little Tudor cottage, and, you know, I can't recommend, you know, the Fiona's lovely, the cake's amazing. But yeah, and you can take your dog. So if anyone's out, pop in. It's really, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even if I just sat there all night with a drink and a slice of cake, I think I would have had a lovely time. But we were there to go, son.
We do some really big venues, and we always get noise pollution to a certain extent. But do you know what? The other night, considering it was a lot smaller, and we did have a fair amount of people there, the sound seemed to just disappear, didn't it? Looking at it. Wonder if that's something paranormal or... Because
it was on the high street, so you did get like cars going backwards and forwards, which you can't unless you've got a venue in the middle of nowhere. But even then, you're going to have animal sounds and that, so it's really hard to not have any noise pollution at all. But I think you can easily cancel out noise pollution, can't you?
Unless you go to a package cell, you're always going to have noise pollution, aren't you?
You can rule it out though. You can rule it out by saying, "Oh yeah, that's a car," "Yeah, that's a car," or, but yeah, it was. I'd like to go back. Very interesting place.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to returning there. I can assure you, and I think Graham would have really liked his EVPs there because there's. Oh, you don't have to go, Gemma. You can stay. I
love the little coast.
we won't run as normal anyway. Thanks for coming on, Gemma. It really is great to have you as part of the group as well. And obviously on all the investigations, Paranation and so forth. And Paranation, I wouldn't have met you otherwise. So I'm grateful for that. And now we've got our own little family. What Cheryl put on the puppy page today just said it all. Can't really say anymore. But nice to have you, Gemma. We'll see you later, love. And we'll see you at Shore House next, isn't it? Shore House? It is Shore House next, isn't it?
It goes
Shore House. I don't think Gemma's coming to Shore House because I think she's got a special birthday. So she's not able to go.
Oh yeah. She's on the boat though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
as
do
you know, this evening I've started taking bookings for Cogs Manor Farm, and that's 16th of
That's gonna be a good one.
I've started taking bookings already for that. So it's I know you're like, really? Really? Yes, we're taking bookings already for Cogs Manor Farm.
Yeah, but I mean, look at us all on the chat, whatever tonight. I mean, we all agree and disagree in different ways, don't we? We're all from different backgrounds. We've all got the same hobby in mind. We all understand everybody else's feelings, and we all understand everybody else has got different views. So the way we investigate is a very mixed approach, but from a hobbyist and fun, enjoyable point of view. And
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't, with ghost hunting, and if anyone's watching this who hasn't been with us before, it's a hobby. It's something that we're all got a passion about. We're all very passionate about it. That's why we've been doing it for so long. And it doesn't matter, who you are, where you're from, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But yeah, just come along and join us. Even if you turn up on your own, people do turn up on their own. And they're made really welcome. Oh no, we're friendly, easygoing, and we're all in it for the same reason, to try and find some ghostly activity. And more the merrier. If you've never been on a ghost hunt before, come along. If you've been on loads before, come along. It's everyone's welcome, and we're quite friendly, easygoing. There's no time scales or anything like that. It's all very very relaxed and friendly. And we had a great laugh, didn't we, on Saturday? Yeah. And you met some people, didn't you, that you haven't seen for a while?
Well, them three women that came together.
Yeah,
that
I've never met them before. I don't think.
Well, I said to her, I said, "Oh, don't just walk past me and ignore me like you've never." She went, "You know what?" She says, "We were talking about you the other day." She said, and Rachel went onto the Paranormal site, saw that somebody, Darren Graham, had put they're going to this event, clicked on, it was you, so she booked us 3 places. I went, fantastic. She says, yeah. She says, we haven't seen you for so long. She said, it's so good. I said, good to see you as well. And upstairs, I sat with them in the front room about 12 o'clock. And I said to the beginning, she said, what's the format? Where do we start first? I said, well, where do you want to start? I said, we're very open. We're very free. We're very relaxed. And she turned around and I said, it's not, no disrespect. I said, but it's not like where you've been before, where you get 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 30 minutes there. And if you're getting a load of stuff, you have to leave. If you're not getting anything, you have to stay. I said, it's like that 3 hour that you used to have. She said, that 3 hour used to go so quick. I said, well, it's like that 3 hour throughout the night. If you want to join in with another group, if you want to be on your own, if you want to sit in the corner on your own and call out or whatever, it's entirely up to you. It's your night. And they said to me at 12 o'clock at night, and I went, it has been enjoyable because she says, we used to love that free time and it used to be over so quick. So it's so free and easy walking around. We can go where we want, when we want, have a break when we want, have a fag when we want. So, well, that's what it's all about. Enjoyment. We don't come here to be regimented. We come here to enjoy our hobby. And that's what it's all about.
I did try it. You know, when I very first, my first and second events that I did try and schedule things, but, you know, me and timings just don't work. I'm not very good at, you know, at scheduling or timing or anything like that. And it, you know, I just found that, you know, I did like, okay, you know, I think we did like the Exposure Museum and I said, okay, we do here, you know, and timed it all. So the whole night was filled up. But as I sort of like started to progress for the evening, I thought, it's just not working. It's not working for us. It's not for us. It's not working. So I just said, you know, let's just scrap these times because, you know, if we're getting something really good, we're not going to say, right, okay, stop, move on to the next thing, because we're getting some really good, you know, conversation on the Ouija board and everything. Why do you want to just cut that, you know, just your time's up, bang, off you go. You know, it's no. And it's like when I know the writing thing.
The Crime Museum, and they have 50 people in the True Crime Museum. And it's a tiny little dugout cave, man-made cave. And the cinema area has got probably like 30 seats. And 25 people out of that 50 are sitting there for 30 minutes a time waiting to go round because they have 2 groups of like 12 or 13 in the other 2 areas.
Oh, gosh.
It's not a night. I mean, Hellfire Caves, that's a good one. Right? There's one group, I think they take, well, they don't anymore, I don't think, because they've changed the, it used to be a price, now they charge per head, don't they? You used to have to just hire it for the night. So what they used to do to get their most money, the most profit out of it, I can remember, I'm not saying them because it's not right, but what they used to do is they used to take 80 people to Hellfire Caves. 80 people. And each group, they split you, I think it was into 3 groups or 4 groups. And each group got an hour to rotate down the tunnels. So you got an hour down there and 2 hours up, apparently. Right? An hour down and 2 hours. And that was your night over. That was your 6 hours gone. So, I mean, that's why I believe that they changed the pricing structure there. I'm not sure, but I believe that's why they do it per head now. Because people were just trying to take too much profit out of it.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, you know.
Didn't you say I think when I first met you, was it a Fort Whitley one I was doing, and you said that you, one of those, wasn't it really crowded or something?
60 people.
60, yeah. 60 I think you said 60, yeah. That's just
people in Fort Woodley.
what
and you
experience
weren't
are they
allowed-
getting? What experience are each of those? Because Fort Woodley, I know it's like quite big, but it's not that big. You know, you'd have people everywhere. You'd have people upstairs, downstairs, in probably both the tunnels, wouldn't you?
The hosts were absolutely getting fantastic experiences, but the guests weren't really allowed to have a good one because I mentioned a name of somebody, and the medium told me, no, he's not there. And I said, no, he is. He said, no, because I did exactly the same. I went along, the same as I came to you the first time, and I didn't say much. I just carried on as normal until I got Dominic down in the tunnels.
Which tied up with Graham, because Graham, I think a couple of so events before that, Graham got Dominic on his EVP and got a photo of him as well. So I knew you were right because when you said that.
So I sort of like, I think probably an hour into the night, I got absolutely fed up with being told that I was wrong and there wasn't this character there. Because not all mediums work off the same wavelength. Paul and I work much the same wavelength. That's why I can show him go and touch the wall, and you'll see the kitchen. Yeah. And I think Jenny and Angela are much the same as you. I think you're more their wavelength. Yeah. Dora's a bit of a weird one. She's sort of like, she floats between the two. Yeah. She's but she's Polish anyway. No, everybody's got different energy. So for one sensitive to say to another sensitive, no, you're wrong, yeah, is wrong. Because many a time I've been with Dora and we've been standing somewhere and she'll say, I'm getting a name of Roger. And I turn around and say, well, I'm not getting that name. She'll go, are you getting a name, Roger? And I'll go, no, I'm not getting that name. However, it doesn't mean that you're wrong and I'm right, haven't I?
Yeah.
Many a time.
Everyone picks different.
Everybody picks up on different frequencies. Yeah. A digital radio won't pick up what an analog radio does and vice versa. Two different entities completely.
I tend to feel them like when they come up behind me. I can feel that. And sometimes I will say something like, if you're doing a human pendulum or something, and you know, and I don't know whether it's just a lucky guess or whether it's, you know, I am picking up on something, but you know, it's all very interesting, and you can't prove or disprove anything. And that's the fun of ghost hunting. You know, it's all like there to be debunked. It's all there to be, you know, to be explored, isn't it? So
absolutely. And it's always that time when you least expect it, like at
when you're not recording,
when a whole stack of plates jump like 6 inches in front of you on the table, and you sit there and go, did I really see that? Because that was just awesome. That was just awesome. I'm really looking forward to going back to Castle Cottage as well, and I am. I think this year they've all been good again. They've all been good in their own separate ways. But I think places like the tea room, which haven't got any badness in them at all, they haven't had any groups of a certain mentality go in and take something bad in there. Because a lot of these places, the reason we get bad stuff is because people have taken it in there. Simple as.
Yeah.
And I think Castle Cottage was nice because we were a small group all together overnight. We went to sleep. We all woke up and we're all doing our own thing in the morning.
No.
Did Luke didn't sleep?
No.
Well,
He never sleeps.
Daytime, that. Yeah. Oh, look,
I think I probably got an hour and a half.
What? Squish. Oh. What do you mean squish? Oh, Jack, that's a pressure point. And so is this one just here. Yeah. And that one there. Anyway, I'm just... Right, mate. I'll see you in the morning, mate. He's getting as big as me now. I've got to watch him back, haven't I?
Do you know, since I think over the past year, since I last saw him at Waverley, he is completely shot up.
Absolutely.
It really has.
Absolutely.
Really, really has.
Yeah. He's got big. He's got big.
Do you think he's going to be taller than you? Is he going to be taller than you?
No, that's because his dad was a gnome. His dad's a little hairless midget.
He might tower over you.
No. And if he does, I've got a way to cut him down twice.
Oh, but yeah, we got.
I mean, Castle Cottage was brilliant because I think we were all there together, and we all woke up in the morning together. We all like sharing experience and a cup of coffee with each other.
I had about an hour and a half sleep. An hour and a half. I was sleeping with 5 people. I was like, I had an hour and a half sleep that night. I'm like, God. And I think I only went to sleep through sheer exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think that was just it. I was just like so tired. I was just like, woo.
Quite honestly, I mean, we slept in the living room, and the living room, to me, was the worst room in the house for any
Sleeping.
energy. Yeah,
I thought you meant for sleep. We got to get some like proper decent.
It was as well, because I mean, it was only.
Did you sleep on the sofa?
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
Legs were up there and whatever. But for the energy, I mean, there was that man in the corner that was smoking when I first walked in there, and he was glaring at me. And I think everybody had their own experience in that room of a bit of fear, a bit of terror in that room. And I was that exhausted, I slept. So, but I did do my regular thing of waking up every sort of like half an hour and, oh, shall we go for pee? Yeah, we'll go for pee now. Oh, well, another one. Yeah, no, I better go for one. Oh, no.
I think that next time, I think I'm going to have to take something like some sort of like, not an air bed because I can't really sleep on them, but some sort of like bed, because even though they said it, there's 10 people, I don't feel it slept 10. I guess you probably could have got a couple more on the double beds, but how many people do you want to get on a double bed, really? It was hard, wasn't it? It was hard trying to like find places for everyone to, and if you took 50, say if I like said, oh, she says 10, but let's take 15, and also it was parking out the front, which was quite tight. But even if you took
3-4 cars max, wasn't it? 4 cars.
Yeah, and it's like, if you took 15, if I thought, oh no, I'm just going to squeeze a few more in, where would people accept it? It would just been like, well, I think, some people did sleep on the floor, but yeah, it was, I think I'd need to get some sort of like portable bed next time.
Yeah. I mean,
my sleepovers. When's my next sleepover? Is it Shepton Mallet?
I think so, yeah. But you won't
get a hotel for that one.
You won't want to sleep at Shepton Mallet prison. Oh, gosh. They're just like solid iron prison beds. That's all they are. And you saw all these people taking their sleeping bags and pillows through, and they came through about 5 o'clock in the morning. They went, "Oh, we're leaving." Didn't they, Luke?
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
So there will be another Shepton Mallet video launched on Friday, I believe, on South Coast Ghosts. I've got that much footage I'm going through to try and keep up. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously people that are watching the channel are obviously, oh, night, Ben, see you in the morning, mate. Right, I'll go sleep, yeah? I don't want to hear them rats moving above me tonight. All right.
There's no rats.
Last night till 1 in the morning, there was these big rats. Their room's above me now. Yeah.
No, I fell off the bed and I was moving around on the floor because I was too tired to get back on bed.
What, for like 3 hours?
Yes.
And Darren thought it was a rat, did he?
Why that nose? That nose has just grown 6 inches, mate. Yeah, what did you call you, Pinocchio?
No.
Yeah? Pinocchio, aren't you?
No.
Right, so what really happened?
I'm a real boy.
What really happened?
No, I was moving around in bed and then I fell off.
Yeah.
And I was actually on the floor for hours.
Yeah.
I was moving around the floor.
I liked it how when you saw me come up the stairs when the door was open while Jack was going to pee, you froze and pretended to be asleep on the floor.
When?
Oh, we've all been there, Ben. We've all done it. Do you know? I'll tell you a little story, right? I used to go and stay with my. I hope my cousins are listening, but I used to go and stay with my auntie. I used to go and stay with my auntie for like 7 days at a time, and if I stayed over and it was a Sunday, we had to go to Sunday school.
Yeah.
And me and my cousin used to pretend to be asleep, so we didn't have to go to Sunday school. We've all done it, haven't we?
School.
Yes, we used to.
School.
Yeah, Sunday school.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, no.
When I went to stay with my
Sundays
auntie. Yeah, when I went to stay with my auntie, we had to go to Sunday school because my cousin went to Sunday school, so I had to go to Sunday school.
Right. Sundays was either going up to Borley Rectory or Borley Church, or round somebody's house that said they'd experienced something. Yeah, one of my dad's mates, something like that, or trying to figure out the old land layout of the house or something like that, and talking to the neighbours and seeing if they'd heard anything. Because I'd regularly see people outside the back of the house. But my house in Raleigh in Essex, where I come from, it's quite a unique house. It was built, I believe, in 1984. We moved into it around about 1986. It was built by one of the Byford brothers, which were really famous builders. And they all used to, they fell out and they competed against each other. And it was built for Byford and his wife, who split up, and he decided to sell it. And the bricks were so hard, you used to blunt drills trying to drill in. He built the house that well. But what he'd done is it was a corner plot, the house next door, and it was a Nazi built house, double fronted house. And it was not Nazi built, Jerry built, we used to call it.
This looks like a
Yeah.
drink.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers.
He's a good boy, isn't he?
Jerry built was what we called. Cheers, Ben. Thank you. After the Second World War, a lot of the German prisoners of war were let out to rebuild London and surrounding areas that the Nazis had bombed. So you used to call it Nazi or Jerry built. And you can always see the fashion. Very plain and not much effort put in. Anyway, bought this house, built the new house we owned, and then sold the old house off, and made his profit. Then he sold our house and made his profit on that. Well, it turned out that many years ago, before all this happened, we used to always see things in the garden here, walking across the floor upstairs. I'll have to go in. I mean, we're running late now, so I'll have to go into it another time. But it turned out that it used to be an undertaker lived in the Jerry built house, and where our garages were was the chapel of rest, and he used to, amongst other things, rob the bodies of rings and necklaces and things like that. So there was a lot of spirits that hadn't been to rest there. Anyway, we'll stay on for 5 minutes after I end the live. Yeah, you don't have to go straight away. I'm going to end the live now because we've been on hour and 45 minutes. Thanks to everybody that's watched. We stay on for 5 minutes and have our chat afterwards, guys. So if you want to join us and be part of the Puppy Power Nation, South Coast Ghost Coast for Host for Ghost crew, or just a bloody good friend, basically, which I consider us all to be, you get an extra 5-10 minutes of chat after this. Isn't that cool, eh? Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. This will be downloaded and uploaded again tomorrow for 10:30. We are Power Nation events. If you want to book on to an event, we've got a few places left for the Shield Hall coming up, which is a boat, the first ever. That's November the 25th. That's our next. We've got Shepton Prison, end of January next year. And then, of course, a lovely sort of old manor and farm, Cogswall Manor, coming up in March. There'll be loads of places in between, I guarantee you that. That's powernation.co.uk. Go on there and book your place. There's deposit options on there and so forth. Come along on your own. Come along as a team. We really don't care. All we want is you to come along and join us and make new friends. That's all we want. I'm South Coast Ghost, Luke Dora. We do a lot of free stuff and so forth, along with sort out people's other problems. You know, they may have a manifestation or some infestation of spirits or so forth. Then you know, give us a call. Unfortunately, you're going to get everybody else, such as Paul from Host for Ghosts and his team up in Croydon area. He and Julia, they're all going to come and join us and come round your house and have a coffee and try and get rid of your spirits for you. Because we are all mates, we are all one. We make up Puppy, which is Power Unified Paranormal Investigators, and our one mission in life is to defend me, to join other teams, to join other groups, and to basically share the power of love. If you like the idea, come and join us. I would ask you to share. Go on all our pages, Power Nation events, Host for Ghosts, South Coast Ghosts. Share them, join them, view them, comment on them, ask questions. Share this, share the live. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and get involved with us. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. We'll have our 5 minutes afterwards. Thanks for joining us, and we'll all see you.